Interestingly, a number of the so-called solutions offered by Mr. Christie really amount to plagiarism of already announced policies and plans of the Free National Movement government.
Well, that's in a nutshell how FNM Chairman Carl Bethel summed up opposition leader Perry Christie's paid televised address last evening, during which he blasted the Ingram administration for its silence on the country's crime woes. At the time, he also suggested ways the PLP government would more effectively address the issue. And as you just heard, part and parcel of the party's plan is placing additional focus on the police and defense forces, more courts, and more legislation. But according to the FNM chairman, plain and simple, those things are already being done.
His suggestion that the law be amended to have categories of homicide, first, second, third degree, the government has already announced that it is bringing legislation to do this. The government has already announced that it is amending bringing a new Criminal Procedure Code Act. The government has already announced that it is and in fact investing more than $14 million in creating new court space, in thoroughly renovating the Supreme Court buildings and outbuildings to create more courtrooms so that the process of the administration of justice can be more efficient, particularly in criminal matters. When Mr. Christie left office, there were 2 active criminal Supreme Courts that dealt with criminal matters. There are now 5 under this government. So obviously, all of Mr. Christie, a number of his prescriptions, he is only prescribing what is already being implemented by the Free National Movement government.
And as for Mr. Christie's plan to enforce the death penalty, Mr. Bethel said,
Mr. Christie is talking to hear himself talk. He knows that he is hamstrung by the fact that any number of his leading senior members, those who help him to shape the policy of government, his former cabinet ministers, they are absolutely opposed to the death penalty. He can start with Fred Mitchell and Glenys Hanna Martin and work his way down the line. He knows better than you or I know that there is a strong and influential anti-capital punishment wing in his own cabinet. So for him to sit and tell the Bahamian people, oh, he's going to be proactive on this issue and he's going to enforce the death penalty, he's talking to hear himself talk. The reality is otherwise in his own political ranks.
National Security Minister Tommy Turnquest recently told reporters that several crime-related bills will be brought to Parliament when the House of Assembly resumes on October 5th. For JCN News, I'm Sasha Lightborn.